Shalom, real quick. This is a sort of response to the video that was put up by Remnant Say 144, entitled "Read Old Testament Only Israelites Don't Know the Prophecies," which is a video that he's responding to a video that Apostle Ramon had put up, and I believe that in that video, and I haven't clicked on, excuse me, the video, but Apostle Ramon's video, but I believe that video is based upon what I said. I said in one of the videos that I did earlier that the Old Testament Hebrews out there don't know prophecy. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the book of Revelation, the book of, well, really the book of Revelation is the premier, New Testament prophetic book. Although when you go to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the Acts, and the various New Testament books, all the apostles were also prophets as well. Perfect example is 2 Peter 3, starting from the 10th verse, when the apostle Peter says, "Elements shall melt with a fervent heat." He's talking about the destruction. He's talking about the same thing that Isaiah saw in Isaiah 34. And, I don't have to go through that list, the Isaiahs, the Jeremiahs, the Joels, and so forth. The Zacharias, Obadiah. So I believe that this video that Apostle Ramon put up was based upon that statement that I made. I got to go check it myself, but I'm watching a video that Remnant Say 144, which is Elder, so many names out there, Elder Yashawam of the GMS Dallas camp. So he says, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you listen to it because I can hardly read the post right here, but this is from Zion Lex, and he says, I'll read like the first line. Feel like I'm becoming messianic, meaning he's going into the New Testament. Now we know if you say that you're Old Testament only, it's obvious you don't follow Revelation. But what I said in my video that you Old Testament only don't even really understand, period, the prophetic books in the Old Testament, Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah. And if you ask them to break, let's say, Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51, all of them or any of those chapters, they would have to conclude that it's talking about something in the future, that it's not talking about ancient Babylon. So in order to complete this puzzle, so to speak, you have to have the New Testament, because when we go into Daniel 7 or Isaiah 34, or Isaiah 14, or Isaiah 13, is going to lead you into the New Testament, because the New Testament, mainly Revelation, John says things that are almost word for word with the prophets of old. So in order to put that whole thing together as one, you gotta bring the Old Testament and the New Testament together. So it's beautiful that Zion Lex made this statement. Could he be one of the elect? Maybe so. We hope so. But this New Testament, Old Testament, New Testament, One West thing, like I said in many videos, the truth came out of Harlem, out of One West, from Abba Bivens' fulfillment of Malachi. Because these Old Testament Hebrews can't even tell you what does Malachi 4 mean, really the whole chapter, but the last 2 verses, because that has to be fulfilled. When was it fulfilled? So let me let you listen. I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to bring this back.
How you have this brother Zion Lex, who at one point was told only leaving a post, now seeing the light, but still he's seeing the light in the world ignorant from birth. So it isn't being real. This post brother sent, this is his post. For years he was non-messianic. He didn't believe in the Messiah, even though in the scripture.
And that influence of him wanting to see in the light of the New Testament, which means you're messianic, it definitely had to come from the one West camps, either from GMS, ISUPK, IUIC, any other men, Sakari, because, when I first got on the street and put up on YouTube, I used to yell out, I said, y'all need to get out there in the camp. Don't wait for us. Just set up a camp. Get in contact. And I remember brothers would get on, I'm so and so and such from Jacksonville, Florida. Anybody in Florida that follow? Yeah. They would say, yeah, let's get together. Anybody from Dallas, anybody from Chicago is a major camp. We got a lot of major GMS camps. Chicago is one of the major camps. Excuse me. But how did they get together? They got on the comment section, thanks to YouTube, and they built. And they've been out there. We don't check up on these guys. They just go out in the spirit. We know what they're doing based upon the YouTube, man. It used to be that every Passover there were a bunch of. It was the last one was had to be 200 brothers, different brothers from different camps coming in. And then I said, look, from now on, you're gonna have your own Passovers with your own camps, because there's a lot of last minute stuff that you had to do. Now, can the Most High set it? When the Most High set it up, we have a big gathering. They'll all come. They'll all, if they don't have money, somebody will pay for them. Or brothers will have their own money, or whatever the case may be. But I believe that the one Westers, which are literally all over the place, and that's why I mentioned GMS, IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari, and then the others, Zabaka, the HOI. Then you got guys that never got with a camp and just set up their own camps, but they're teaching the One West doctrine. So when you see that, that mustard seed growing into this great tree, you have no other choice but to say, you know what, let me go deeper into it. So he was sincere. He always came off to me, Zion Lex, as sincere. You can listen to a man speak, and there was no bullshit in his speech. He was sincere. So did the Most High open up his eyes? Now, could he be one of the elect? As I said, I hope he is. I hope he is. And that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing. So now let me let you listen.
Right, the Torah and the Tanakh, the Messiah is spoken of. As you can see here, let's read this text. It says, "My Lex, feel like I'm becoming messianic." Okay? And this is why we have to continue to labor as well, right? Because the scriptures talked about how.
Let me say this. Took a little sip of my kombucha. I said in one video a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you had the IUIC marching in Detroit, but they go to different places and they gather brothers from all over the country on their dollar. In other words, you got to pay to get out there. You know, they get the garments and whatever, and they march. And I remember saying that. Now I hope if there's 2,000 guys marching down the street in Detroit, I hope every last one of those guys have their own YouTube page. And you know, like I said, this is the influence on people when you're constantly banging them in the head with these videos that stem from One West. We were out there last week. Last week we was out there. We was out there last week, and we did the closing lineup, and you know me talking my shit. They got to endure my corny jokes, but we were telling little war stories, and we were right next to the school, and I kept pointing up at the school, and I said, "This is where it all started." And this thing, everybody, when it comes to Hebrew Israelites, as far as so-called blacks are concerned, they got to mention the One Westers. Got to mention the One Westers, which is the most influential group of all the Israelites. Because our old leaders is 7, none of them are teaching. High Priest Ariel is up in age; he's in his 80s. High Priest Shaw, he's in his 70s. You got Lahab, he's teaching some wayward doctrine. And the rest of them, then you got some of them that passed. They got up in age and passed. So none of the original 7 is really out there, you know, speaking, and they got camps and all that. You know, the scriptures speak about we have entered into their labors. Oh, this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing, man. And again, I believe that Zion Lex got the influence from every time he turns around, he goes on YouTube. There's a former One West doing the video. So he was kind of forced by the spirit to watch it, man. So like I said, I'm gonna say it again. I'm sounding like a broken record, but that's a beautiful thing. And he's a young man as well. I don't know about his congregation, if they're older, and whether they're gonna see it or not. But that's a major step, man. You know, the angels rejoice when one man comes to the truth. I'm merely paraphrasing. Somebody can put it up in there. I'm not gonna look for it. But let's listen to it a little bit more. It is a beautiful thing, man. And this is close. And you need the New Testament, you need the Old Testament and the New Testament to get the full understanding. That's the rest of the puzzle. With the Old Testament, you only got half of the piece. If there's 100 pieces of the puzzle, the Old Testament represents, let's say, 50% of the puzzle. So you got these scattered pieces. You put all the pieces down. You say, where's the rest of the pieces? Well, the rest of the pieces is the New Testament.
Gainsayers will be convinced. Let's get that real quick.
Give me a second.
Gainsayers. This is the book of Titus 1:9. It says, holding fast, okay, to the faithful word as you have been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine to both exhort and to convince the gainsayers. And over the years, there's particular men who are hardcore Torah only, who labor and through them watching these videos, although they never admit it, they've become believers. Okay, and hopefully, this guy here can come to the full understanding. There's another scripture as well. It talks about those who would be of the contrary, okay, through your good works, they will be able to see the light. Let's see if there's a precept here. Yep, this is one. Titus 2 and 7, in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works and doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. And there's other scriptures as well. But let's go back to this post. It says, I feel like I am becoming messianic. I was told that when people really studied to disprove Yeshua, and that's one thing he has to get right. He is one of those guys who's well studied. So I don't understand why he's still calling him Yeshua, or even having E in the ancient Hebrew.
Well, I'm not going to fight against that because we don't really know what the word sounds like. We believe it by faith, unless an angel came down or the Most High came down or the Lord came down and pronounced his name. But we believe it through faith. That the way you pronounce the name is Yahweh, and his beloved son's name is Yahushai. So if he's saying Yeshua, he's doing a lot better than the IUIC because they call him one Christ. As long as he understands what it means for right now, this comes in steps. Yeshua, Yah meaning he, and Shua meaning deliver. That's where you get the word Joshua. But we strongly believe by faith, when it was taught to us by the priest over us, that the way you pronounce it is Yahweh and Yahushai. So I'm not going to really argue about that unless an angel come down from heaven or the Lord come down and say, yes, this is the way he comes as like a giant and says that this is how you pronounce my name and my name and my father's name. So this is steps. This is baby steps. He's used to saying that, so I ain't got no problem with him saying that for right now.
Anyway, it says, I was told that when people really study to disprove Yeshua, that they actually resolve to confirm him. All right, I've uncovered so much in my recent studies, and I will be sharing freely on my YouTube channel soon. So I have to check out his YouTube channel, see if he's posted a video. It says, to all my non-messianic friends, I hope y'all don't abandon your brother. Much love. All right, now this is a good thing to see. Right, he has to come all the way through, but most likely when this brother does post his video, it's going to be based upon what he finds in secular history. Right? But what's more important is that you see Yahushai in the volume of the book. Let's get that real quick. Right, lo, I come in the volume of the book. Okay? And this is why it's known as hidden manna, because when you look in the scriptures, okay, they ultimately testify of Yahushai the whole time. Okay? Value of the book, which is Psalms 40. Okay? This is Psalms 40 and 7. It says, then said I, lo, that Yahushai is the word of the Most High. I come in.
Give me a second.
and the volume of the book that is written of me. Okay, even from the beginning, when we get Genesis 1 and 1, okay, when you go into the Hebrew, okay, now, when you read this in the English, it says what? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Right? Now, when you go into the Hebrew, okay, in the beginning, first off, the beginning is what? Right? Ra'ash Yah. Right? It says first, beginning, best, chief, choice part. Okay, when you go into the root word, Ra'ash, okay, head, top, summit. Okay, now what is a summit? Let's get the meaning of summit. Okay, summit means the highest point of a hill or a mountain. Okay, and what do these elites have? Well, to me, that they're summit meetings. Okay, and mountains are known as governments in the Holy Scriptures. So, going back here, okay, in the beginning, the Lord is showing you His order. Okay, and we'll break that down. Okay, upper part, chief. Okay, some, height, front, beginning. Okay, look, chief. Let's go to D. Okay, chief, head of man, city, nation, place, family, priest. Okay, because we know that Yahweh Shai and the elect were a spiritual family, okay, before they came onto the earth. Okay, that's a whole nother lesson. Head, division, company, bad, some. Okay, so in the beginning, okay, God is what? Alahayim. Okay, rulers. So the Lord is in the beginning set forth an order, all right, who He gave the blueprint on how to create what He wanted created. Okay, Alahayim is what? Rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, okay, works of special possessions, so forth. Okay, Alahayim, it's plural. Okay, now the proof that it wasn't just the Most High, all right, even though He's at the forefront, nothing operates outside of Him. He's omnipotent. All right, when you go to verse 26, okay, it says, and the Alahayim said, let us make man in our image. Let us, okay? Let us make man in our image. Okay? Showing you that even from the beginning, if you search the scriptures, okay, because all you would have to do is link this with precept, line upon line, precept upon precept. When you get the book of Colossians, okay, it clearly tells you that Yahweh Shai is the head of the church. Okay? So from the beginning, the Most High is showing you His order. All right, and all throughout the Torah, let's get Genesis, the 49th chapter. Okay, the Messiah is spoken about. All right, Genesis 49. All right, when this is before Jacob passed away, he's prophesying to his sons on things that were happening to him. Okay, well, prophecy leading into the latter days as well. Okay, it says, Judah, verse 8, Genesis 49 and 8, Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. And even though Judah is hated, okay, because of these curses, really all of the tribes look up to Judah. Okay, Judah is the head tribe. That's the fourth son, okay, that Jacob had, okay, for his mercy. Okay, it says, thine hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Okay, thy father's children shall bow down to thee. Okay, Judah, the Messiah will come out of Judah. The kingship will come out of Judah. Okay, it says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art born up. He stood, all right. He crouched down as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up, going into prophecy. Okay, and you know, we at one point we went up from the prey. We were in hostile state, but ultimately Judah will be roused up in the latter days, and we're doing the lesson and prophecy of Judah. All right, the Lord will use Judah, even going back to time of Yahweh Shai, he would use Judah as to be at the forefront, all right, of us being raised up, even in these times. Okay, it was primarily Judah, all right, then Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and then the rest of the tribes were raised up as well. Okay, but anyway, as the scripture said, the tents of Judah shall be raised up first in time of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and primarily in this time, in the time when we wake up, and then the other are gathered unto Judah, as the scripture says, bring his brethren unto him. And we've been roused up through the Holy Spirit in these latter days. There's a precept in Job you can look at. It says, the scepter, okay, what is a scepter? Rulership shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. Okay, meaning the high priest and the priesthood would ultimately come from Judah. Now, under the first covenant, we know that it was through Levi. Okay, this is why when you go to the book of Hebrews real quick, Hebrews the 7th chapter, Hebrews the 7th chapter real quick.
What I want to do from here is go to the actual video. Let me see if I can. Give me a second. Okay, so this is at 25. It's 25 minutes long. Old Testament only Israelites don't know prophecy, and I guarantee you, he did this video based upon the video that I did earlier. Let's see if it's the fact, the truth.
All right. Let's start off by saying Baruch Atah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem B'chakadash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Old Testament only Israelites don't know the prophecies. Prophecy. Should have put prophecies. And pretty much I got the title from watching the video the Elder Pastor just put up, dealing with proclaiming this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And he made that statement, and it's true. These Old Testament only Israelites, they don't understand prophecies, not even the prophecies of the Old Testament. They don't understand. And pretty much when he said that, it started to put a series of thoughts in my mind. And I remember brothers sending out a post. I'm not sure exactly when it was, probably about a week ago. And I just remembered that Zion Lex, right? He's I believe he's an Old Testament only Israel. And pretty much he put a post up, I'm not sure where, I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube, and brothers got a hold of it. And pretty much, he said that he's starting to believe in the Messiah, right? And he said that they say, the saying is that when you start, he calls the Lord, he calls Yahweh's name Yeshua, right? He said, they say this is the saying, they say that when you start researching Yeshua to try to disprove him, that's what he calls him. We know the Lord's name is Yahweh. He said when you start to research Yeshua and you try to disprove him, the more convinced you become that he is real, that he exists. So even Zion Lex is at the point now where he's starting to believe in the Messiah, which means if he's starting to believe in the Messiah, he's starting to believe in the New Testament. Because without the New Testament, the Old Testament, wouldn't be complete, right? When we read in the book of Ezekiel, right? Book of Ezekiel, I'm not sure if it's the second chapter or the third chapter. Should be the third chapter. Yep. Ezekiel 3:1, it says, Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So in order for you to get the full grasp of what the scriptures are saying, you have to eat the whole roll. Now, someone might say, well, that's just talking about the Old Testament. That was in the Old Testament. Well, it says the same thing in the New Testament. Let's go to Revelation 10. And then another precept came to mind. Let's get that real quick. Let me hold on to this real quick and then come back to it. So Revelation chapter 10 and verse 7. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of the Most High should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants the prophets. Right? Which this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the end of the society. We're waiting for the end of this devil. We're waiting for the end of this world, so that the kingdom of heaven could be established and we could go back into how it's supposed to be. It says, and the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. That little book is talking about the whole scriptures, everything of the scripture. Matter of fact, the elder just put a precept of Acts 20 and 27, for I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High. And that's pretty much what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to hold back anything. Matter of fact, before I read on in Revelation, because it speaks about the little book, which that little book was actually, the seals on it were broken. Because when we go back to the book of Daniel, the 12th chapter, the seals were put on the book. It was put on the book until the time of the end. And we're at the time of the end right now. And the prophecies are speaking loud and clear, and you could see it. Like it says in Habakkuk, the second chapter, at the end they shall speak and not lie. So when we go to, before we get there, let's go to Matthew chapter 13 and verse 52. It says, Then said he unto me, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder. And we are householders. We are the upkeep and the management of the scriptures, of this truth, of this doctrine, the doctrine of Yahushua. We are the householders, the ones that were entrusted with the money, for the upkeep or the economy of the scriptures, which goes back to the Greek word oikonomia, which is oikos, which means a house, and then the rest of it, mia, I believe it is, goes into the word economy, house economy or house management, right? And that's what we were entrusted with. And we have this gift in these vessels, no matter how decrepit and broken down they may be. The Lord, for whatever reason, the Lord found us or gave us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, this truth, to us, so we know we've been chosen to teach them.
For whatever reason was the reason is we did it before. We are the prophets. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, I believe that's the 32nd verse. So we are those people coming back. We can't help it, man. The Most High put the spirit on us. We couldn't leave this if we wanted to. If we did this in a past life, you come back, you're a prophet in the past, you're going to come back as a prophet. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. So we have to do this. Jeremiah said, he spoke about this being a fire inside of him. He didn't want to teach Jake no more because they were hard-headed, but there was a spirit in them that the Most High put that spirit in them. That's why we do what we do. And if you notice, we do videos every day And then sometimes we do two videos, sometimes three. And we'll watch one video and it's that video will inspire us to do another video. This video that the Apostle Ramlab is doing was he was inspired by what I said in the video that I did earlier. So anyway, I'm gonna say shalom.